Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining me on today's, this is the end of the week stream. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. We look at technical analysis in regards to the precious metals. The four precious metals we tend to look at are silver, gold, platinum and palladium. A lot of my viewers out there are very familiar with the format. So for those new to the channel, that is pretty much what we will start off first. And then we end off with crypto. So we will be looking at Bitcoin as well. And just a special thank you to those who have donated. I really appreciate it. The donation details are in the description. For those that wish to get involved with donating to the channel, you'll see the descriptions in the description there. There is a Hall of Fame, and I've got currently 4 people in. I've got 1 spot left, so it'd be great to get someone to donate. Of course, if you feel that the information you get at the end of the stream is of a particular benefit to you. I see there's a few people in already, so we're up to 4 viewing. Silver's had a bit of an interesting ride the last 3 days, and we're going to be looking at that in depth, but we'll look at the hourly, the daily, and the weekly. We're also going to see if there is a bit of a bear trend forming in relation to silver, so we will be looking at that. And then, of course, we'll also be looking at gold, and gold seems to be holding, which is really interesting in relation to what's happening with silver. So we will be taking a look at that, and we'll also take a look at deeper analysis in regards to gold. So we'll also look at the hourly, the daily, and the weekly in regards to gold. Platinum as well is an interesting metal. We will take a look into that. We're not going as in depth, so we will take a look. And obviously palladium, which is the one I've started off with, has been on an absolute tear. For those that are not familiar with the term tear, it just means that it's been going, it's been obviously just moving and moving up, as you can see here from the chart. It's currently priced at $1,680 an ounce. So it's $13.89 up, almost 1%. It's 0.83% up on yesterday. It broke through its all-time high, and it's now just heading up. There's effectively no resistance for it, so it's going to be interesting how it plays out in the foreseeable short term. So there we go. It's ticked up a cent there, so 13.90 currently up. We'll obviously crack open silver in a sec, and we'll have a look at Bitcoin's volatility lately and see how that is trending. I stated to you in the previous one I was completely out of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. The only crypto I have left is XRP, so we will be taking a look at that. Right, so I see there's a few people in. We'll get things started off shortly. So Silver Junkie, Lucky the Irish is here as well. Fantastic. How you doing? We got greetings from New York, New York City this week. Oh, that sounds great, Italian G. How are things in New York? We've got Jody's in as well. Fantastic. One of my donators. Really appreciate you, Jody. I hope you're keeping well there. Thomas Robinson, silver prices. You're not the only one who's feeling the pain there. Coin collector, so he says, hey all, nice palladium. I know your palladium is performing well. It's just got jumped up $2 again, so we're going to take a look at that. We're going to see what resistance silver is looking at currently, and we're also going to look at resistance there for gold in the longer term. Coin collector says you sold out completely of Bitcoin and moved into Tether. No, I haven't even moved into Tether. I've just cashed out. So I've got all my the exchange I use for my cryptocurrencies, Coin Collector, they have a card facility. So literally I can load whatever crypto I sell gets loaded onto the card, and I can go and spend it. But obviously I'm not spending it. I'm just out of it for now until I see lower lows. The market's just too precarious, especially after that last dump. So we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart as well. So let's get things going. So let's get the... How you doing, everybody? Again, thank you all very much for joining me on today's live stream. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I posted a video yesterday. It's been a while, of the oak leaf. It's interesting because the oak leaf was scheduled for release for September. And I see coinsense and nonsense, obviously not to put names out there, but obviously he was saying there that in relation to the release, it's obviously in October. Which is interesting. So I went to go and check the Germania Mint site, and it does say indeed that it looks like they've moved it from September to October. So I'm not really sure. I know there are some that think some of the channels get them earlier than most. I guess I mean, I've never got them this, this amount of time before the actual release. So I'm sure there is a particular reason for that. I don't think there's anything sinister about it, or any reason why we would get it earlier than anybody else, because it's never been that way. Generally when I've gotten coins from Germanium Mint, it's pretty much been on release stuff. So there could have been some circumstances. Obviously, I'm not. I'm not trying to justify anything in regards to releases of coins and that. But I mean, that's entirely up to them how they want to do it. But there's always a reason why. So anyway, let's have a look. So we're going to start off with the first ones. We got Luck of the Irish. He says first. We got Silver Junkie in. Italian G says he's in New York City currently at the minute. Jody with the sunglasses there. Thomas Robinson saying silver prices, man, I feel you. And then Coin Collector, man, I hope you're keeping well there, Coin Collector. It's been a while. Aussie Alchemist, he says, don't be resistance, become support. Man, I like that. Thanks, Aussie. Excuse me, you're brilliant. Good day, SL. Good morning, everybody. That's Aussie Alchemist. Italian G says, lovely weather in New York. Fantastic. It's not the best of weather here. It did clear for a bit, and the sort of blue skies have come out. But guess what time it is? It's in the evening here in Ireland. Mellow Stacker, man, how you doing? It's good to see you. It's starting to get dark here as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. I might not be able to film, mainly because of how dark the place is. So we'll have to see how we get on. Coin Collector says, surely moving into Tether is cheaper, RE fees. Well, this facility doesn't offer Tether. It's effectively conversion into fiat, but the fees are not that bad actually. I've got a discount because I've got a particular token that I have on top of that. Coin says, yes, fine, just been busy. Absolutely fair play to you. There, I love crypto, says Luck of the Irish. Mudswat, hey Mudswat, how you doing? It's good to see you. Let's see, we're up to 7 at the minute. Live streams have been a little bit slow. I guess people are busy. No issue at all. But I certainly appreciate you guys for hanging out with me here. I sold my soul for a Bitcoin, says Luck of the Irish. Oh, well, you're definitely braver than me, Luck of the Irish. I certainly wouldn't touch Bitcoin currently at the minute. I have to admit, it's interesting to see the sort of videos going on about crypto currently on YouTube. I've actually unsubscribed to a lot of people because I'm just sick and tired of I guess maybe because I'm a little bit more knowledgeable than maybe most people out there. I don't know in relation to crypto, so I don't need any advice from the other crypto people out there. But it's interesting to see their points and opinions. I think even one of the channels was saying that of course they use the heading. I've just bought into Bitcoin kind of thing, and I'm just like, you're just opening yourself up to comments if it goes the other way. But that's entirely their opinion, of course. Aussie Alchemist says, good day, Mudswan. There we go. So guys, let's have a look at Palladium. So Palladium's performed exceptionally well. If we have a look here, we've just been going up and up and up. Essentially, once we broke that resistance level, which was back here, that was our previous high. It was 1605. No, I'm sure it was more than, there we go, 1609 or something like that. No, 1615. Once we're broken through that, it's been on a bit of a free run. It's approaching $1,700 an ounce. So what are we here? 1694. So it's getting there. As you can see, there was a bit of a pullback there once it had come to that level, and then the price sort of dropped down to about 1650. There's really no need for me to chart this because effectively you can see there the moving average lines are starting to open up a bit. It's almost like means that the sort of more free flow running through in regards to the way these the charts are performing. We're probably going to see we'll probably see a test of the $1,700 level, and again, fair play to anybody who bought at 1384, because I think he did an exceptional job. You would have made $300 an ounce at that low, and that's the important thing about buying low, is that when it does go high, you're maximizing your profit potential. If you're constantly buying high, let's just say you bought at this high here, then fine, that's 1604. That's what you bought in, but you initially took quite a heavy toll. You took a bit of a loss there down to 1385. So initially you would have been probably freaking out because it would have gone down, and you would have been expecting a continued run. maybe to the downside, but obviously it's recovered nicely and there's a bit of a rally going on. We're above our 20 moving average, which is great. You can see it above that yellow support there. So we're constantly working our way up, which is, ideally this would be great for a silver chart right now, but silver's not performing currently at the minute. So we're going to take a look. I know RPM Limited, hopefully you might drop in, but he's still optimistic in relation to the silver charts. I said to look, if silver doesn't make a higher high soon, then it is going to fall into a bear trend currently, which is not good in my eyes. So we are going to take a look at the chart. We'll be looking at silver next. I'm taking back big companies aren't ready for crypto. Showed with Starbucks, says Luck of the Irish. I'm buying more silver coins, says Thomas. Awesome for you there, Thomas. Hit what's that? Sorry, Luck of the Irish says hit that like button. Hi, Limey. Hope you're doing well. Barbara Carbone. Wow. Hey, Barbara, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Fantastic. Glad you dropped in. There we go. We just broke the double digits. We've got 10 watching. Hopefully we can get up to the end of the week streams. I suppose everyone's catching up. Maybe they don't find the Monday or the Wednesday stream that interesting, but this is where most of the information is going to be, highlighted from pretty much the end, pretty much the whole week. Thank you, Limey. I'm groovy. I like your profile pic there, Barbara. Looking good. There we go. We're getting up to 11 there. So let's look at the silver chart, and we're going to break it down as well. So let's get silver. Right, silver. Where did we go wrong with silver? Essentially, with what's interesting in regards to the silver chart is that we were looking pretty good, and it looked like we were going to start to build a support level in this area. Obviously, we broke down, hit this new line of support here, and that held. And then we broke back into this channel, which was the road to $20 channel, which you guys, for those that have followed my community posts, you'd see me mention this. However, that only lasted for a couple of days, and then we broke down, like quite heavily down. Once we've broken that 20, we were under it, and then obviously today's a bit of a disappointment. We broke that support line. However, we're testing the 50 moving average, which is in the orange. As you can see, we wicked below that. However, it looks like we're starting to pull back marginally. So we're going to have to see what happens here. However, in this area, is there support? Is there support in this area? Not much. I'll give it that. What I mean by support, what I'm looking for people who are buying, who have bought in that area. And unfortunately, we've only got a buying candle over here, and we've got a buying candle over there. However, we've got numerous sell-off indications. So we got these wicks here, all down, moving down into this area. So that could be cause for concern there for silver. So let's look here too. We've got a selling zone over here as well. Kind of reminds me of the Bitcoin chart, and I'll show you guys later how that works out. And again, it's the same thing here. We're moving into selling areas. Maybe a little bit of buying there, but again, for me, it doesn't look like solid support unless if we go back here. But we're going back 3 years. I don't think that is really relevant in this period now, personally. So I can't see support too much being that strong in that area personally. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think there's enough support to hold the 1750 level? I'd certainly like to know. Barbara says, good day, Aussie. There we go. Luck of the Irish says Silver Limey 79 for World Monetary Fund. For the World Monetary Fund. Fantastic. Mark B saying hello. Barbara Carbone says thanks, Limey. Jody, always interesting. And everyone's saying hello to each other. Thomas Robinson says buy low. Absolutely, that's what I'm doing with Bitcoin right now. I'm waiting for that new low to kick in. Silver giveaways, man. How you doing? Silver giveaways. I need to do something while you're here, so bear with me. I couldn't find this flipping option the last time. He's one of my new donators as well. So again, special thank you to Silver Giveaways. Let me just log in here quickly. So again, special thank you. Sorry, I meant to turn that speaker off, but Silver Giveaways, there we go. Is Silver Giveaways, you're a moderator now? There we go. Silver Giveaways is one of my moderators. DB Stupid. Did I just see DB Stupid? There you go. DB Stupid says, I say it holds $17 if gold holds 1500. Well, I'll tell you one thing, DB. Gold is holding its position very well in relation to silver. Silver's losing a lot of ground currently, but gold's maybe dropped by $10, but it's holding in that area. If you guys have a look, once we have a look at the chart. But today we're going to look at, well, at this moment of time, we're going to be looking at the silver chart. Starbuck Jeff, N Coins, man. Starbuck Jeff, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Fantastic, man. I dropped into his channel there. He's got a good introductory video. That was his first video posted. Definitely check him out. Starbuck Jeff N Coins. There we go. Barbara saying hi to giveaways. Right. Okay. So let's look at the chart here. My main concern currently is that we haven't been able to break up higher, which is what I was expecting here. You'll notice in previous videos that I was expecting a movement to the side, which we did, but I was expecting a support line to be maintained. The amounts of news in regards to precious metals in a positive light is very, very strong. So for me, I'm a bit puzzled as to why we are pretty much sitting in this area here. For the last 3 days, we've had pretty consistent selling. Or bashing of silver, if you can call it that. And I mean, maybe this needs to run its course. However, we've already had a consistent selling week, which was pretty much last week. We had some heavy selling in this area. Sorry, not last week, the week before, in this area here. So for me, this extra 3 days of selling just I didn't quite understand what was causing it, because the news of out there, global and political, is very strong. So to me, I was expecting a bounce off this line in order to move up. So what this has caused is we're starting to get a picture of a downward resistance line, which to me is very concerning. And that's why I said when I put that community post, my main concern at the moment is silver needs to break out, and substantially, in order to avoid further downward movement. So this is a resistance line which I'm currently putting in place, and what do you know, I just put it in there, and you can see there the 2 wicks pretty much lined up perfectly with the downward resistance line. So I find that very interesting in regards to how that is going to work out. However, when we start to look at, let's have a look from a low to low. So let's look at that there. This may not necessarily line up, but it definitely lines up from a resistance perspective when we look at the top of the candles rather than the support line here. So we might find ourselves in this situation. I'm choosing this low here, and we're going to line it up there. We might find ourselves into this sort of sideways movement for the next few days, probably going into next week again. But silver, you know, if it breaks down from this position, this is going to be a concern for me. If silver continues a downward trend, then effectively we might see ourselves breaking that 17 level, which for me is would be a very bad sign. So I think DV Stupid pretty much called it. If it breaks 17, that's going to be it's going to be a problem in my eyes. However, it is going to move into an area of support, which is over here. You guys can see my finger and cross sort of working its action over here. So you've got consistent consolidation there, you know, consistently for 2 weeks. So to me, that would put it at about the $17 level if we didn't hold this area of support. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But yeah, I want silver. It has to make a higher high in order to keep the bullish momentum alive. And I'm sure the majority of you can probably agree with that. Let's have a look. Okay, there's been a few comments here, so I'm going to work through it. Let's have a look. Hello, Silver Army 79 and everyone. That is, and then Starbuck Jeff saying hello there. That was DB Stupid's comment. He says there, silver. I say it holds $17 if gold holds 1,500. Ozzy, how are you doing? There we go. That's Silver Giveaways. Great to see you, Silver Army 79. Starbuck Jeff, N Coins, doing great. Thank you. Super. Aussie Alchemist, don't be resistance, become support. I like that. I love it. And then we've got DB Stupid. A dollar is strong right now. How is gold and silver looking in other currencies since Fed's last announcement? Excuse me. I've only been comparing it with US dollar currently at the moment. DB Stupid. I haven't looked at other currencies. Again, I suppose Canadian dollar could be a good example of one. Graham Stacker. Graham Stacker's in the house. Awesome, Graham. How you doing? It's good to see you, my man. Fantastic. Just missing RPM Limited. There will be my 4 donators in the house. Mark B as well, saying hello. Awesome, Mark. Good to see you. The DB RBA expected to cut rates on Tuesday by 0.25%. Waiting to see. That's probably how the majority of the markets are gonna do, Aussie. A lot of the central banks, particularly, will probably take lead from the American central bank, because they can't leave unless they're a strong economy and they can maintain the higher rates. But it's going to be interesting to see. Melt silver, says Thomas. Starbuck Jeff. Barbara says anything is possible, Limey. We've seen drastic numbers these past few months. You're absolutely right. You're right about that. Melt silver bars into silver coins. There we go. We're getting we're up to about 13. Silver Limey 79. What charts are you using? What charts? I'm using precious metals to USD, if that makes sense. And I've got my moving average lines. You can see those different color lines. And then this, sorry, let me pull up that chart there. That's the daily, if that's what you're looking for. We got blended whiskies in the house too. Man, we're approaching 14 at the minute. That's fantastic. It's good to see you. Blended whiskey. Actually bought some Irish whiskey today. Actually, I thought, well, time for me to I got a bit of tax back from the exchequer. So I thought, well, I might get myself a bottle. Nothing. I mean, I haven't gone over the top, but it's always nice to have a bit of whiskey every now and then. Jody says, banks holding cash, everyone waiting for the crash, says Jody. It's too many. Yeah, there we go. That's Barbara says, yes, too many variables to even guess what's going to happen. USD over $99 now. That is the part of the decline in gold and silver in dollar terms. Thanks, DB. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Need to go. Cheers, Starbuck Jeff. All the best. In case I don't catch Bill J, send him my regards. In case I can't make it. Let's have a look. Silver. I'm sorry. What exchange is this? Oh, exchange. I don't think they use a particular exchange, to be honest with you. It just says CFDs on silver. Yeah, there's no particular exchange as that. It's just their. At least I don't think so. This is the generic format here for TradeView. The site is TradingView. Oh, it's TradingView.com. I like that. That's quite clever. Graham Stacker says picked up at Annex PF70 for 25 last night. That sounds fantastic, Graham. What coin was it? He said PF70. DB Stupid says, any comments on Glint going bust? Not really sure. What's Glint there, DB? Trading View. Okay, sorry, I couldn't quite understand what you were looking for there. Silver giveaways. Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to the charts then. So for silver, my main concern is hence why these two lines here. We got support. Whether this is going to be descending support, I've got to put it in place now, and then we've got our resistance level. So the band is quite tight currently. But silver really has to break out to the upside on the next attempt. It really does need it, because otherwise, if it just continues to break down, if we have one more breakdown, as far as I'm concerned, then we're going to be steering we're going to have a bearish outlook happen. And for me, I just find that extremely puzzling right now, based on the global political situations. So I'm a bit sort of confused as to why we're seeing 3 consistent days of selling. I know RPM pointed out that a lot of the JPM Morgan guys apparently are in court, so it could be that this is their sort of last-ditch effort to manipulate silver. I don't know how true that is. Before we start to see the upside, I know RPM Limited, he's pretty bullish in regards to like big movements for silver happening. Again, we're not really seeing much consolidation here. We've had a bit more of a downtrend consolidation happen here, and then we had a nice spike back into this channel. I want to see us back in this channel. That's all. And I mean, nothing can, we could go up by 60 cents. We've all seen it. We've seen silver go up by almost 80 cents. So, we could move back into at least this channel for starters. So 80 cents, that would be 8.30. Yeah, so we could find ourselves here and then slowly starting to gain up again, hypothetically speaking. But silver has to make a big move very soon. Let's have a look. Let's look at the weekly. This will give us an idea. There we go. So that's interesting. So if you look at the weekly, guys, what are we seeing? We've had our maximum here, which was what was that, 1964 or something like that? Or I don't know, it's funny if it's listed here a little bit higher than that. And then since we've hit this top here, we've gone down. I mean, on the weekly, it's interesting. We're making a higher high on the weekly with the wick. What I mean by a higher high is that is a lower high, and then we've, there's our resistance level that we've hit on the weekly, and we've come back down, and we've almost been rejected from this line. So let's have a look. The weekly, we were at 1870. We hit that area there, immediately came down. I put this support line in place here, and that's interesting. This line going across here. So on the weekly, we hit this high here, and we've immediately come down from that. So from this angle here, we really need to start seeing ourselves move up. Otherwise, we're going to be in danger for further moves to the downside over here, which, I'm not saying it can be the situation depending on what happens here. I'm not saying right now it's a bearish move, but we've had our high up here. We've immediately come down. Second week into it, again, we've gone down. Third week, we had a bit of a recovery here. The fourth week since we've had our high there, and we've had a bit of a sell-off. Even though we've tested higher, I mean, we certainly have a big wick here, but we've given up all the gains. So silver has a lot of work to do, and next week it had better perform and start moving up. I mean, I've put these chart lines in now, so we're going to follow them pretty much from next week, and then we'll see where we go from there. Good to see the chat going. We're up to 17 people in the house. I'm just going to whiz past here. Sorry, Proof ASE says Graham Stacker. Wow. Well, what year did you get, Graham? Gold. There we go. DB Stupid says gold-backed MasterCard app. Some YouTubers were promoting it. It was UK based. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Lucky the Irish says I got some junk silver. Mudswat says crap. I just burnt the roof of my mouth. Got to be a lot more careful there. I finally smashed the like button, and that's Carl Electrum. How you doing, Carl? Welcome, guys. Hit the thumbs up, please, if you don't mind. We've got 17 in here, so if you wouldn't mind, if you like the content, don't forget to hit that smash the like button. Pot of Jam. He says lemony snickered. Hey, silver lemony. I normally get called lemonade. Jody, I had to check them. I had to check that, Mudswat, says Jody. Barbara Carbone says Irish. I smashed it and kicked it too. There we go. Everyone's just saying hello there. Pot of Jam. Wow, Graham Stacker. Is it a modal unwise? Jody says, I wonder that majority of silver is ETFs. It probably is, to be honest. Majority of the silver currently traded is ETF. In fact, let's look at the volume here quick. Okay, it doesn't show it on the weekly. Let's see if we can get it on the daily. Oh, not on the hourly. Sorry. Let me bring this up on the 4-hour. Okay, so there's that's silver on the 4-hour, and there you can see our volumes there. 23,000. Check the strong buying there. 216,000. selling 152, then we were 119, so we're well below. Silver's currently oversold currently. Oversold means that it's way below its moving averages currently, and in most cases, if you have a look here, this is when silver's oversold, and it always tends to work its way back into its moving averages. So good buying indicator for those looking to look at the lows is that when you've got consistent oversold moments, it is more than likely going to work itself back into the moving averages. That's these moving averages here. We've also had a number of crosses here. When we mean crosses, that's when our moving averages cross one another. So if you have a look there, we had a cross there, sell off, and we've had a cross on that one there. And we've had also, even though it was green, pretty consistent selling. And it looks like we've got a cross over here as well. That is the 50 and the 100 crossing each other. And again, because that also could be related to certain market movements. I know a lot of guys who do technical analysis tend to talk about these. I don't really talk about those much, to be honest, but that's the area we want to see ourselves being in, way above the 20 moving average. Excuse me. And seeing ourselves trade back into this area here. Silver's currently priced $17.54. That is the current price for silver, everybody. We're going to take a look at gold. Anyone got any questions on silver before I close this off? There's a lot of comments here, so let me go through these. Thomas Robinson says $20 by December. Well, it certainly is looking like it's going in that direction there, Thomas. So you never know. Let's have a look. Carl. Now the blue button is black. Is black and blue. Let's have a look. Just made a couple of amazing real estate deals. Now focusing on cryptos and equity market. Happy with my metals, so staying out of the metals market for a bit. Fair play there, blended whiskey. There you go. He's looking to get into a bit of crypto. So I'm going to have to move on to these because there's a lot of comments to go through. Who's buying blended? DB Stupid said, I think the JP Morgan manipulation story is being put out there now to provide cover for any price rise. But they will use it to deflect the story away from the real trigger. That's interesting. Thank you, DB. Carl says, to buy Lisa coin or not to buy the Lisa coin? That is the question. Not really sure what Lisa coin is, Carl. 16 pounds of silver. Let's go. I'm stacking gold till it goes down. Why would you stack gold until it goes down? That doesn't quite make sense. Me too, Jam. Ran out of room. Let's have a look. Pot of Jam. Barbara, I'm sorry for forgetting. It's been a long time. Aussie Alchemist says, don't be resistance, become support, and join Silver Limey here. Fantastic. I love that. Love that tagline. Graham Stacker, forgot Limey at 25. It's a steal regardless. That's Graham Stacker. DB, the Glyn story is worth a look. Another case for physical. Also, Provident Metals has dropped the digital gold crypto product. Wow, that's interesting. Thank you, DB. That's very interesting. So they've been launching their sort of digital gold crypto product, and it looks like they've canned it. For me, I guess it's probably they wanted to diversify maybe and go all kind of like we're looking at the digital format because of its future potential. But I suppose when you're a precious metal physical dealer, how do you sell that? How do you sell a digital product when 90% of your business or even 100% of your business is physical? To me, that doesn't make sense. Just checking it here. Let's have a look. Mellow stacking. So I think it's good purchasing weather. I'm stacking it high as long as they are pushing metal prices down. There we go. So obviously Mellow is buying on the way down. Pot of Jam says Silver Limey, from now on I'm stacking 2. I got an ounce of gold. There you go. Fair play. That's me. And my target is to try and get an ounce by the end of the year. We'll have to see how that pans out. Mudspot says, can I have some? Jody, anyone seen DB or RPM in the same room? Well, DB's here. RPM hasn't come in yet. Carl says there's a new Simpsons going. That's interesting. I have $1.1903 year silver. How much? That's RB. And there we go. Carl says, Silver Limey, I appreciate your market prosections. I find it entertaining in a good way. Thanks, Carl. Predictions. Yeah, I know. I got you there. Luck of the Irish says, oh, bye, Jam. Cheers, Potter Jam. Take care. Thanks for dropping in. Gold makes the world go round, says Luck of the Irish. In my last stream, guys, for those that missed it, I published my latest NGC results to a surprising, surprising results. So make sure you check that out. I'll include the video afterwards. In an eye on the. Is it that way? Is it that way? Yeah, it's up here. You'll see the eye come up, and then the description will pop up there, and definitely take a look there. Sucker for Silver says, I've only got 14 likes. What's going on? And there's like 17 people in the room. Guys, there's 3 people holding out on me here. Right, let's move on from silver here. So you can see there we're hitting resistance. We're going to take a look at support. So let's see where the support is. Where is support? Obviously, I've previously showed you where I think support is, and that is around the $17 level. So if we're going to break down further from this level here, like I said, though, silver really has to make a higher high in order to get ourselves out of this conundrum currently at the minute. The conundrum is that we're hitting a lower low currently at the minute, and we really do need that strong candle. It was almost like when we first started to see silver moving, guys. You remember that? It was like, bam, the flipping candles were like massive heading up, and that's exactly what we need here. We need some strong candles moving it up in this position. Right, let's look at the gold charts. Okay, gold's nearing $1,500. Sorry guys, let me just see who is actually bugging me here. What a surprise. Okay, let's look at gold. This is gold currently at the minute. We've got a major resistance level at the 1550 level, let's say 1550, 1560. We've hit that twice now, and we've come down from that. How is gold looking on the daily? Are we seeing lower lows or a lower high, which is exactly what we're seeing if we have a look here? Very similar to the silver chart. If we have the high here and these 2 candle wicks touching the resistance. So we've got a descending resistance line currently in play. One thing we don't really have that much of is, there's the lower low. So let's just say it looks like gold is in a little bit more of a kind of sideways wedge movement, which means that we could see pressure building up in this area here. Gold is not that far from its previous high again, so not looking too bad. What we might see as well is that if we have a look here, we might see ourselves creating this here. So this could be ascending resistance, which might explain if we move it across back to this line here. It's attempted to break down. If you have a look at this level here, I'm going to zoom in. So I've just put this resistance line in here. It's touched, gone back up, and then it broke down. However, it's pulling back. So the bulls are really pulling the bears, sort of, they're fighting against them rather heavily currently at the minute. So it's interesting to see how well this is going to go. We went up as low as $1,487 an ounce. We were just touching the 50 moving average. That's this orange line that you guys can see here. We might see ourselves falling into this triangle wedge pattern. However, if we continue to do a sideways maneuver, then we possibly can. There's good consolidation in this area. I've always said in regards to previous videos that gold looks like it'll start to move up. We had our movements here, rejection from this resistance line, straight back down, and we've had a bit of a breakdown from this area. Not as heavy as silver though, so just take note. Let's look at gold on the weekly. Just going to check comments while we have this up. Hey, Stephen Heath's dropped in. Stephen, how you doing? It's good to see you. Who's holding out? Go like. Thanks, Barbara. Mellow Stacker says, I'm stacking silver, but I've caught the gold bug pretty bad. Something about that yellow metal makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. I look at it this way, Mellow. I've got too much silver. I'm currently overexposed in the silver department. So for me, I've really got to diversify. So I've reduced my silver stack. I've sold some of the coins and made a bit of a profit. And I've taken that money and I've put it into some gold just to help diversify a little bit and get my percentages right. Because currently, with all of your money, guys, if you think of it this way, if you put $100 and you haven't got it spread out, and you're just going to then essentially you're hoping for that one winner. If you've got it in various metals, then you're able to spread it out a bit. And what that helps do is it reduces your risk. It also means that if all precious metals tend to follow one another, I'm not saying that they are, but let's just say gold's up, silver's up, and platinum's up, for instance, then the three metals that you have in your bag are all worth more instead of just having one. So by that, just diversifying a little bit, it'll reduce the risk or the exposure. So for instance, if silver is down, let's say it's down by $10, but gold is up by 5 and platinum is up by 6, then effectively you're up $1 on your entire portfolio. So by having other metals, it just sort of balances out to a degree. And of course, if one metal's down and the other one's up, it cancels out that loss. So that's the reason why I'm definitely doing that, is because just in case, it's a better way to not be too overexposed in regards to into your precious metal stack. And that's the way I'm going to play it. Sorry, I've got a cramp in my foot right now. Hopefully it's going to go away here. Last chance, says Aussie, to buy cheap. Will rebound when RBA raises rates. Don't believe it. It has been factored in by the market yet, says Aussie. Okay, so hence why Aussie's saying is because the price is falling, more and more people want to get in at the low end of the scale in order for it to push up, and then they're going to hammer their money into it. Stephen Heath says, you're always groovy. I don't know if he's talking about me. I mean, effectively, Stephen, he hasn't even said hello to his host. He just goes in, hello, and then goes, hi, Bob. So obviously he's, he hasn't really said hello to me. Maybe something to do next time, Stephen. Otherwise, you might just end up having yourself cool down. You might be on the cool down. Aussie says cuts rates. Jody says just a strong dollar day. Impeachments. Yeah, BS. Got your back, says Barbara. Graham Stacker, time to get gold, says Graham Stacker. Luck of the Irish, Silver Limey 79. Just sent you a donation. Awesome, fantastic. Thank you very much, Luck of the Irish. You're a legend, man. And you're number 5. So I'll be doing a draw soon. So we'll do a draw, and I'll also be giving away something to you guys too. So we're going to do 2 draws. I'll do a draw there. I'm going to do 2 mystery packs. I'm going to do a giveaway to you guys in the live stream, and then I'm going to do a giveaway for my donators. So again, just a special thank you from me to you guys out there for coming in. I mean, look, we're up to 17 at the minute. This is fantastic. So I'll get the 2 bags ready. I'll let you guys know in the community post. So just make sure notification bell is ticked, and that you get that notification so that when I do post the community post, you guys will be aware of it. I don't think too many people take note of that. I won't directly say giveaway because I know what's going to happen is my subscribers that do not participate in the live streams, I don't think that'd be fair. So I'll use a code word. So just make sure if I say code word, that's when you know the giveaway's happening. Graham Stacker says that's my issue, Limey. Too much silver right now. I absolutely hear you there. DB Stupid says my private gold seller needed some dental work. Picked up 2 1986 AGs, 1 ounce. Ah, fantastic, DB. I agree, Limey. Diversify. I like it. DB, he's got any more to sell. You can hear the rain starting to come down again here. DB Stupid says she has about 40 ounces to sell, but sells as she needs things. That's probably the wrong way to do it. If you're gonna get into precious metals, you're better off keeping that money to one side and not using it. Barbara having a good laugh there. It was probably me with Stephen. DB Stupid. The next day, eBay had 8% e-bucks lining up my 1 ounce AGE at 15.30. Jeez, you guys are lucky, man. We don't even get any of that stuff here. No e-bucks for us. Like, we just pay full price down this end. And there we go. Stephen says, wow, hello, Silver Limey 79. How you doing? It's good to see you, Stephen. I even greeted you when you came in. Just messing with you, buddy. AU Current says, hi, everyone. Silver Limey, how you doing? AU Currents, good to see you. Graham Stacker. Hey, nice. Luck of the Irish. It's hard to stop buying silver. There's always something else you want to get. I mean, what I started doing was every time I was buying silver, I'd buy a little piece of gold. And I know that may not suit everybody, but even if you buy a 20th of an ounce or something like that, at least you're building up your gold stack. And think of it that way. Yes, the premium might be high, but then just see if you can negotiate with these with your LCSs and put a package together. Go for some silver and add like a little piece of gold in there. And trust me, you'll be able to benefit from that by stacking more. And that's probably the word I'd say. Code word. Jody wins, says Jody. Barbara Carbone, true sucker. The code word is code. Code word. Got it. That's it. I'll probably mention code word in a sentence. So I'll say the code word is silver or something like that. You know, when if silver is up one day, I'll say, wow, the code word is silver today. You know what I mean, guys? So think of it that way. But I think that's probably the best way to not just get people randomly coming in here that don't participate in the live stream, and then just go, oh yeah, I just happen to be here. Like I'll just be annoyed. I'd rather give away stuff to you guys who actually spend the time here in enjoying my live streams and watching them and chatting to everybody else. DB Stupid says my seller is in her late 80s and thinks her kids could just pawn it for a massive discount. Jeez. Stephen Eats says I have more gold on the way and some silver. There you go. I like it. That's the best way to do it, buddy. Anyway, let me get back to the chart here. Where are we? Back on the gold chart. Okay, this is gold on the weekly, guys. Quite a similar format there. Look at that. We've had consistent selling since we've had our high over here, but then on the next candle it actually was a little bit higher. Look at that. Just a tad over that one. And then we've just had our sell-off here. And what we are starting to see, though, on the weekly, we are having a higher high on the wick only. So if you count the wicks in, we've got a high over here, then a low, then a high again. And then we've got, a consistent sort of sideways consolidation on the support. And then we've set in a higher low and a higher high. So it's going to be interesting to see how gold is going to perform next week. I think we might have some good movement for gold, guys. So make sure your seatbelts are strapped in as far as I'm concerned, because we're really not that far. I actually like seeing this. We could just see a nice potential breakout for gold because we haven't seen any big movement. So hopefully, guys, this could be the ideal time to stack up on some gold. Like I was saying, I've been consolidating some gold, and I sold, for those that saw that Zippo lighter that I had, a buyer on eBay bought it off me. So I'm taking that money and putting it into gold. So I've got a couple of bids in, but sadly, I've been outbid, hence what that noise was earlier. But nothing will deter me. I will get what I want, but as long as I get something before the next run up. If we look at support, you know, we've had 2 weeks of pretty consistent consolidation in that area. So that's 1484. That's looking pretty good. We've got a really strong support line here at the 1400 area. However, I think we should be okay about the 1480 mark. Gold's always been pretty solid in that area there, but we're going to have to see if we can start moving up is pretty much what I want to see for gold currently at the minute. And then finally, we're going to be taking a look in regards to the precious metals. We're going to take a look at platinum. Right, let's have a look. So Jody says, no matter where the metals are, it's not Bitcoin. Aussie Alchemist says, don't be resistance, become support. Join Silver Limey here. Thank you very much. Are you current? Silver is being manipulated to be low. If gold keeps going up, silver will catch up eventually. That's exactly what happened there months back. Limey's now uses matches to light his pipe. What are you on about, Stephen? And the lighting here, let me look at it. It's dark already. It was light literally when I'd set this up, and it's only 8 o'clock. So anyway, guys, let's look at. Let me see. Just bear with me a sec here. I'm gonna see if I can get some more lighting on. This one light doesn't work. Doesn't seem to flick on. Oh well. Right, let's get on with it. Okay, so let's look at platinum. Platinum to me looks fantastic, guys. Look at this consistent consolidation pretty much for quite some time now. We've gone down, we've been in this area here. This is, what's that, 960, and we've been sitting at about 920. We've been in this area bouncing around consistently. We haven't fallen below this level, which I find very interesting, because platinum, look at where we've come from. We haven't given up these gains here yet. So the only gains we've given up have been these ones here. So for me, silver, well, platinum, should I say, has found a very nice area to base itself off this 930 level. So congratulations for those that really bought on this low here at 790. Effectively, if you work it out 800, you'd be $130 up. Now, obviously, everyone knows the premium for platinum coins is pretty heavy. However, if you'd bought at about the 800 level, you would probably more than likely break even right now. But however, if you think about how high we went up as high as $997 an ounce. Yeah, that's almost 200, which would have basically cleared the would probably would have put you into a little bit of profit. So again, we're not that far. If you guys are buying platinum, see if you just try and work the premiums. Just watch the premiums. The premiums are very high, and that's because of VAT and of course the margin that the dealers sell for. I've seen some ounces on there, man, and the guys are just asking ridiculous amounts of money for them. I just think it's silly, really. But there we go. We're in this area here that we've just been bouncing around in. So eventually, you know, are we going to see this area here now start to move up? Let's see if we can put some charts in. Again, we've got a high, and then we've got a couple of lower lows. So we've got a high up here, and that was the 997. Since then, we've come down. We haven't been able to have a consecutive pump up. We've sort of done this half attempt, and immediately there's been resistance at this level here. Look at the resistance there at 963. Exceptionally heavy resistance for platinum right now. We've got that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So you can see there, it's at a very rock solid resistance level, which means that if platinum is able to break through that level, it should create quite a solid base of support based on this line here. However, that's only if platinum can do that. If it does do that, then it is going to start to prime up and start actually breaking through. We will have a 4-digit platinum in the near future. Don't forget, the high for platinum has been over $2,000 an ounce. So platinum has probably got the most to gain currently at the minute. If we look at previous lows, again, there hasn't been that many really. If you look at the wicks, even from that perspective, yes, we are in a falling channel here. But again, Platinum really needs to perform, and I suspect it'd be great to see it perform next week. Let's just say we've seen consistent consolidation in this area here. I'd love to see us attempt to get to this, at least this resistance, and retest. We might see ourselves retest about the 950 area. What's this 9? Yeah, so the 950 area here before hopefully breaking out to the upside and really opening this up a bit to about 975, and then tackle the 993 resistance area and then break on through. So for me, this is the major resistance zone, the 960 area. Again, we just need to build up momentum and then pop through. Right, Aussie says, really hanging in for GS gold silver ratio to shrink, ideally high 60s or 70s. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Aussie. Right, I'm off. Sorry about that. Right, I'm off my dinner and watch football. All the best to Stephen. I tell you, England performed well against the Tongans in the rugby, man. I was very impressed. Aussie Alchemist says, later, Stephen. And so does Barbara. Okay, we still got some people peeled to the screens currently. Let's look at Platinum. Okay, this is Platinum on the daily. We're going to take a look at Platinum on the weekly, and we're going to see if there is. Yeah, okay, there we go. So pretty much the last 3 weeks we just had selling. The last 3 weeks we've had selling, but look at the consistent selling, guys. And this is one thing that for me is extremely bullish. Even though Platinum has sold, it hasn't really gone down. Yes, we've had our highs up here and we've come down to this level, but look where we are. It's absolutely mad, because if you look at where we are here, I mean, this area here where we are, there is some consolidation in this area, particularly there on the weekly. We've got some pretty consistent consolidation in that area. And then, of course, we've had 3 weeks of selling, but we haven't really been able. We're not pushing lower, which for me, again, I'm talking about this resistance here. It's pretty solid at 920. So for me, this is a good area for us to bounce off and start to aim higher. And to me, it's got to be coming. The lower, let's have a look. It was as low as 791. Below that, we had 780. Again, well done to those that got in early for Platinum. Let's look at the monthly, just out of interest. Well, monthly figures were still in the moving average zones. Well, you can see where we've come from there. Let's have a look at the 4-hour for Platinum. Again, we're hitting resistance lines here between our moving averages. We're bouncing around in this area here between the 200 and the 100 moving average, and even the 20. However, good consolidation, guys. I mean, I just love it because that just gives us enough ammunition to base ourselves at a foundation here to work off and start to move upwards. So gold and platinum, I think, are primed for something special next week. Jody at the gym, dying. Catch up Monday. Cheers, Jody. Yeah, and we beat the Yanks. Yeah, I think you beat them pretty convincingly. Hey, your current says, Jody, no gain without pain. Right, we're going to move on to Bitcoin. Guys, this is the final one. And I tell you, Bitcoin, I've just seen an interesting developments for that. Let's have a look. It's not showing. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's. I don't want to see 4-hour. I want to see daily. So let's look at the daily for Bitcoin. No, that's not the monthly. There we go. Right, guys, there's the daily. So pretty much the last 6 days, almost a week now, Bitcoin's been in this decline. We broke down from that previous level there. We're way in a oversold territory based on our moving average. The moving averages are way up here. I mean, there's our moving average. The average 20 days 9.5. We're sitting at 8,000. We're 1,500 below our moving averages. What I find puzzling is that even though we've had such a fall down, there hasn't been much buying, which for me just reinforces the bearish trend that we're currently in. What I mean much buying is we haven't seen that massive move up. And for me, this is just another reason why I don't want to buy now, is because I feel that we're still going to see lower lows here. If I look at areas of support, I do not see this as much of an area of support as I do the 7.5 area. Main reason why I think that is so is because of this area here. This is a good week there where we've just been consistent buying in a good buying zone, and even there too. If I look further afield though, and we see where we've come out of, we're moving into selling areas here. Selling there, buying there, selling there. And then in a bit of a mishmash, because that's where we came off our blow off top there. But I really feel that we're in a much stronger support zone over here at the 7.5. However, again, that puts us into some very disturbing territory. At 7.5, yes, we were in some buying zones, some consolidation zones over here. And then where do we go from there? If Bitcoin cannot hold this level here, it's going to drop down to the 7.5, and it might even drop down as low as 7.2. However, this next level here around 6.5 is pretty good. We've got consistent consolidation zones in this area here. Will it be enough to change things? I don't know. A lot of people are saying that maybe Bitcoin hasn't hit its lower low yet, and effectively the 2.5 or the 3.2 is not the bottom for Bitcoin. So are we going to see a complete reversal? This move here was pretty massive, guys, because Bitcoin had held the 9,000, the 9.1 level pretty consistently for a very long time, and you can see here by these consistent wicks that the 9,000 level has been pretty rock solid. The moment we've hit that, we've always bounced back. But obviously now we've broken down and we've broken through various support areas. Bitcoin at the minute is looking very precarious, to say the least. Barbara Carbone says, Limey, I have to leave now. Cheers, Barbara. Thanks very much for dropping in. Awesome to see you. Silver giveaways, now some real currency. Coffee. Good. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to have some tea there. The Bitcoin submarine. That's Aussie. Good time to watch and wait it out. Silver giveaways has been extremely patient here, waiting for the Bitcoin chart. So for me, I just don't see this 8,000 level to be a decent support level, and that's mainly because of how rock solid this 9.1 level has been consistently previously. Because if I look at this level here, there's not much activity that has happened in this area. We've just been moving into declining zones here, these selling areas, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then slowly we start to pick up there. So my main concern is we are moving into some selling areas, hence why probably the 7.5 to me would be far better in order to get some form of rebound on. I can't see a rebound at this level. And then, pretty much the $5,000 level to me is awesome. If you just look at that level, we've just had consistent consolidation in that area for a very long time. I don't want to get too much on the bearish side of things, but I think in the short term, I think 7.5, early 7s would probably be a good area to settle in for Bitcoin. But yeah, let's have a look at it on the weekly and see if we get a clearer picture. Right, there you go. So effectively, we hit our high of June, and immediately we went down from there. We tried to rebound, failed, rejected, straight back down, and then tried to build momentum back up into this area, and unfortunately failed again. What is interesting though, in that third attempt at a higher high, what was happening was people were selling the altcoins and pumping their money into Bitcoin. And that for me was a technical mistake. The reason being is that when we had our first initial run up here, everything was going with Bitcoin. So you had Litecoin, you had XRP, you had Ethereum, all going well, and all of those coins were going up in value in relation to Bitcoin. So every time Bitcoin went up, all the other coins went up with it. So it was like a free ride, and effectively you were gaining substantial growth in those assets. The moment everyone tried to think the big money's coming into the market, I'm selling my old coins now, and I'm going to pump it into Bitcoin because I'm expecting this institutional money to come in. When it didn't happen, effectively all that happened was the whales came in and thought, oh, well, I'll make some money, because all of a sudden you've got people creating liquidity into this market by selling off their alts and pumping up the price of Bitcoin. And I said this at that time, and I've said on numerous videos, not my own, but I said I believe that Bitcoin's been artificially inflated based on the altcoins. And again, the usual people saying I didn't know what I was talking about, blah blah blah. And then of course the values of the altcoins were dropping, and then of course when Bitcoin took a bit of a knock, it just didn't recover from that. It was we had a sell-off here, and then we had another third attempt at it, and then we got rejected at that level, and then we're at this situation where we are now. Probably one of the biggest drops in regards to candle body in relation to these areas here. You see there, we've had a lot like wicks, big wicks, but small bodies. We've got a big body here and a small wick on both ends, which just means to me, I think there's more movement. There's more movement coming here. And I just don't think this area is a decent level of support. Even if you look on the weekly here, we've got we're moving into some selling areas here. You can see it there, and obviously there too. I know, yes, there's some buying there, but again, I'm not too convinced. The 6.3, 6.5 area looks very good if the 7.5 area doesn't hold. So we're gonna have to wait and see if it doesn't, if the 7.5 area doesn't hold, and that's the area we're moving into. Just be extremely careful when getting into this market. It's extremely high risk, everybody. You got to know what you're doing when it comes to this, because otherwise you will literally lose your shirt with this stuff. And I mean, we pretty much saw that there. Look at that week, guys. We started that week at $10,000, right? And we're literally at 8,000. It's lost $2,000 in 1 week. So that's all I'm saying is be careful, know what you're getting into. Only put money that you're prepared to lose into something like this. Otherwise, if you need money next week for, school fees or tuition or, groceries or your mortgage, you're going to be in extreme danger. Right, sorry, that's me constantly jabbering away there. So let's have a look. Aussie Alchemist says I can handle 6.5, buy at $6.50. I think we could see 5.5 before any real reversal. What's interesting, Sucker for Silver, if we see 5.5, where's it going to stop at 5.5? And I pointed that out on the chart. There is a good area there at the 5.5 level of good consolidation. I think it's been about 3-4 weeks of just sideways consolidation with some wicks. So yeah, that would probably be my bet. If that doesn't hold, then effectively we're moving into this area here, which is the $4,000 level. For me, it just looks like, how quickly we fell here by $2,000 and literally broke through strong support. These areas here, that's why I don't think this area is going to be strong at all. But only time will tell in regards to that, because some new buyers might come in and push the price up. So just be careful out there. And 7.5 would be next, and then the 6 to 6.5 level would be after that, and then the $5,000 level. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to buy at these levels. And don't forget the other. What's interesting is that the other altcoins will also drop as well. Everyone's been waiting for this alt season, but I haven't seen it. It's an interesting time for this market, because everyone's been hopeful that this alt season's coming, and I suspect a lot of people lost money here. So just be extremely careful. Hence why I'm out of this. I've got money in my XRP, but I mean, it's worth 21 cents. It's not like it's worth 200, and I've got a full bag waiting on the side. again, the potential loss in that's quite small, and I can take that loss. But what I'm not prepared to take, I'm not prepared to take this kind of loss at the moment. I'd rather sit back and say, look, I'll sit back and go, I'll wait for the lower low. And if that lower low kicks in, man, I'll be happy. I've already scored, let's say 500 initially just in this drop from 8.5. So, I mean, it hit a low there of 7.7. So if we go below that, I'm smiling all the way. Let's have a look. Seems like momentum has slowed down, possibly small bounce before going lower if trade volume comes in. I'm going to show you another thing, guys, and this is Google trend volume data. So I'm going to have a look at this. Google. I'm going to see if I can get it. Google Trends. I'm going to show you this chart here, and this is very interesting. And this is effectively the people that have been looking up Bitcoin. And then we're going to look at the volume of interest. Now, don't forget the media at its high was on the side of Bitcoin, and this is what helped a lot of people get into the market. So we're going to take a look at this in a sec. Because obviously the media was riding on it. You saw it on TV. Everyone was talking about it. Hey, Bitcoin's back, man. We're on the higher highs. The volume was there. Everything was flowing. The guys were buying it all. It was going up, etc., etc. So we're going to take a look quickly. Look, Bitcoin currently priced at $8,024, guys. Can you believe that? 8,000. I remember this sort of snotty comment some guy left me on a. I just said to him, I said, I only see lower prices. There has to be a lower correction for Bitcoin, and he didn't believe it. I think I mentioned this. He seemed to think that he said, "Oh yeah, why do you think that?" or something like that, and basically accused me of being a cheap ass and saying I couldn't afford it. But there's the evidence. I feel like going to go and find that comment and saying, "Yeah, what do you think now, you jackass?" Anyway, let's look at the Bitcoin data here. Bitcoin trend data, and then I'll have to finish up, guys. Google Trends. Look at that. So that was at our peak there in June. So you can just see it here. That's where we started off. So the news, the hype started to go up. Hey, Bitcoin's moving up. It was, that sort of thing. And then it really hit momentum. Again, we were like getting a cool off period. And then there was a massive spike. And that was pretty much it says 23rd of June to 29th. And that's where we hit, Bitcoin hit its high. And again, the interest there was just back behind it. It was in the news. It was on everyone's like, yeah, Bitcoin, it's back. Let's get in. And then, of course, we had this massive slump. I mean, look at that. Like literally from the high, all of a sudden it dropped by a third the amount of searches. And then since then, it's just been, I mean, look at that. 38, 35, and 43. These are values. I'm not sure. Interest over time, it's called. So if you look at this level here, it's lower than when it was in December of 18. Yeah, so very interesting. Even though there's more and more people that are aware of it, you can clearly see here that was the previous highs. That was at November 2018. Let's have a look. Past 12 months. Let's have a look. Past 5 years. Check this out, guys. Past 5 years. There you go. Look at that. That was the insane high there of 2017, and that was the kind of interest people. Look at that. 84. Maybe it was 90, and look at where we are now. We're all the way down here. 11, 9, 11, 4, 5. What's this? Sorry, I'm going to try and see if I can. There we go. 9. Look at that. May of 2017. That is pretty much where we are in regards to Bitcoin search was rated 11 back then. So we've effectively reversed all of this interest is now gone back to prior levels, which I find very interesting. Mudswats, sorry, got to run. No problem. Cheers, Mudswat. We're basically almost finished here. Hey, Limey says, homebrew, man, how you doing? TV Stupid says, when when I saw was a sell-off on the altcoin in support of Bitcoin, 10K. When 10K collapsed, now both are in free fall. Crypto is just speculation, no use case. I know, and you've always argued that, DB. It's just snake oil, snake oil till it isn't. Let's have a look. SL79, the altcoins are altcoins seeing buying. I wouldn't buy anything right now, to be honest, Ozzy. I'm holding my XRP. I'm not even buying any XRP at the moment. The only reason why, again, I've just got XRP is I had XRP for the last year and a half or something, and I've missed out the opportunity to get rid of it. And I'm not selling it at these prices because effectively, if I was to get back in, the price of, in order for me to benefit greatly from it, I'd have to see like 15 cents. And I've never seen XRP below 18, 19 cents. So for me, there's no point just to gain not like 100 XRP. DB Stupid says, I felt the crypto whales are selling off alts in support of keeping Bitcoin speculation worthy. Well, that's exactly what happened. I was telling you there that there was a lot of altcoins that were decreasing in value. And then, of course, that's the reason why you had such a high, what's the Bitcoin dominance, is because they were selling, they were sucking the life out of the altcoins to try and keep the momentum for Bitcoin, because they a lot of people thought that the institutions were going to come in. A lot of people thought they were going to get rich quick, and that was pretty much it. You know, like, yeah, I want to jump on the bandwagon now. All this institutional money's coming in. Even the channels on YouTube were talking about it. It was ridiculous. It was like, yeah, backs, you know, and that's another big joke. Is backed. Everyone was like, yeah, back's coming in. Oh, yeah, it's going to save crypto. Oh, great. You know, we're going to see Bitcoin's going to go up to 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, 150,000. You know, guys were talking stupid numbers. And since then, the biggest thing since hit the market when backed open was $2,000 $2,000 decrease in the price of Bitcoin. It's quite hilarious. Inkman78, how you doing? 2017 run up, everyone. Was asking me about Bitcoin. No one was in the run. Nobody was in this run up. Bigfoots, how you doing, buddy? Sucker for Silver says, I talked with several smart folks back then. It was running up. Crypto still an echo chamber. Very few people are actually in it. Very true. Aussie Alchemist. Ooh, there is a Google precious metals chart. I know. Well, that's something we're going to have a look at next time. That's pretty much me out, though. As usual, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching, and don't forget about that code name that I'll say codename Silver or something like that, or it could be codename Gold. So just make sure you're aware of that, and then I'll be giving away something to you guys, and of course my donators. Again, special thank you to them. And a new donator has been Luck of the Irish. He just sent me a donation, so fantastic to him. But guys, have a great weekend. I'm back on Monday. I'll see you on Monday evening, Irish time, of course. That's -5 hours for Eastern Standard Time. So guys, have a great weekend as usual. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And again, have a great evening. It's always an absolute pleasure to chat to you. I'll do some shout outs now. So let's get Inkman78, Aussie Alchemist. Sorry. DB Stupid, Sucker for Silver, Mud Swat, Homebrew, Silver Giveaways, Sucker for Silver, AU Currents, Barbara Carbone, Stephen Heath, Jody, Graham Stacker, one more, Luck of the Irish. There's a couple of comments there. I just want to check them out. Yeah, so Thomas Robinson, there you go. He says, counting my silver coin inventory later on. And Silver Giveaway says, great fun. Silver Limey, thank you very much. No problem, guys. And cheers, Aussie Alchemist, with his tagline there. I love it. I am support, not resistance. Join Silver Limey 79. Yeah, that was pretty good. So thanks very much, Sucker for Silver. Have a great one, Limey. And take care, guys. And don't forget, hit the like button. Comment later if you can. I don't know, it's up to you. I know a lot of people don't tend to comment, but you're more than welcome to drop in later and put a comment in. smash the like button. And then for anyone looking at donating details are in the description. Head over there if you think I'm worthy of a donation. I really appreciate that, and your support is well received. And chat to you again, and have a fantastic weekend. Take care, everybody.